There are seasons in life when everything seems still, silent, and uncertain. And yet, deep within your spirit, something begins to stir. You can't explain it, but you can feel it. A quiet shift, a gentle pulling of your soul. That's not coincidence. That's preparation. Before God blesses you, He prepares you. Before He opens a door, He strengthens your heart. You may feel pressure, isolation, or sudden changes that you don't understand, but these are not signs of delay. They are signs of divine movement. When God is about to bless you, He begins to align everything around you, not through noise, but through signs only your spirit can recognize. Stay still, stay faithful, and watch how heaven begins to whisper what your next season will bring. Separation comes before elevation. When God is preparing to lift you to a higher place, the first thing He often does is separate you from what can't go with you. It's not rejection, it's redirection. You might notice people drifting away, relationships losing connection, opportunities closing, or places that once felt right suddenly feeling uncomfortable. It can feel confusing, even painful. But this is how God clears the path for your next season. Before He blesses you, He removes the distractions that could block your vision. You may not understand it now, but separation is not a sign that something is wrong. It's proof that something greater is coming. God cannot elevate you while you're still attached to what drains your spirit. Sometimes the hardest part of growth is letting go of what feels familiar. We hold on to comfort, routine, and people who have been with us for years, but not everyone is meant to go where God is taking you. When He starts to separate you, it's because He's preparing you. He's refining your faith, sharpening your discernment, and teaching you how to depend on Him fully. Separation is the divine filter that removes everything that can't handle your blessing. You may feel lonely for a season, but that loneliness is actually sacred. It's in that solitude that God whispers what's next. There's always a silence before a shift. God often pulls you away from noise before He promotes you. It's a spiritual detox. The conversations that once excited you begin to drain you. The things that used to motivate you no longer satisfy your soul. It's not that you've lost passion. It's that your spirit has outgrown your surroundings. Separation is how God signals that it's time for transformation. When He begins to distance you from certain people or environments, don't fight it. Don't chase what He's trying to release. If you keep holding on to what's ending, you'll delay what's beginning. The discomfort you feel is the stretching of your destiny. In the moment of separation, confusion will try to speak louder than faith. You'll wonder why God is removing things that once felt right. But spiritual growth requires pruning. Just like a gardener cuts off branches so the tree can grow stronger, God cuts away what no longer bears fruit in your life. He removes attachments, habits, and even opportunities that could limit your expansion. It's not punishment, it's preparation. Every closed door is divine protection, and every separation is strategic. When you trust the process, You start to see that the very things you thought were falling apart were actually falling into place. Separation exposes your dependence. When everything and everyone familiar begins to fade, you're left face to face with your own faith. That's where God begins to build strength. He teaches you how to stand without validation, how to move without applause, how to believe without seeing. The solitude that once scared you becomes the place where you encounter His presence in a deeper way. The separation is not meant to weaken you. It's meant to establish you. It's where your spirit learns to walk by faith, not by sight. You will notice that after a season of separation, clarity begins to return. The confusion lifts, your purpose becomes clearer, and peace begins to fill the spaces that pain once occupied. That's how you know the process is working. God separates to purify your focus. He doesn't want you entering the next level carrying the same distractions or emotional weights. He wants you light, aligned, and ready. So when He begins to remove certain people or situations, don't see it as loss, see it as divine organization. The path to elevation is rarely crowded because it's designed for those willing to walk by faith. Separation is the first sign that your blessing is near. God pulls you aside not to isolate you, but to insulate you from what could harm your spirit. In that quiet distance, He builds the strength, wisdom, and maturity you'll need for what's coming. It may feel like you're losing people, opportunities, or comfort, but what's really happening is a spiritual reset. You're being prepared for expansion, positioned for purpose, and aligned with destiny. The same God who separates you is the one preparing to elevate you beyond what you imagined. Unexpected challenges reveal hidden strength. When God is about to bless you, He often allows pressure to enter your life. It's not to break you, but to build you. What feels like chaos is actually construction. Every challenge you face has a purpose. It's shaping you into the person who can carry the blessing that's coming. Sometimes God will let everything that once felt stable begin to shake. Not because He's abandoning you, but because He's strengthening what's within you. The blessings you're praying for require a stronger foundation, and that foundation is built in difficulty. When everything feels uncertain, that's when you discover strength you didn't know you had. We often ask God for promotion, but forget that pressure comes before promotion. The storms you face are not signs of failure. They're signals of transformation. When God is preparing you for greater things, He doesn't just change your circumstances. He changes you. He refines your patience, deepens your faith, and teaches you how to stand when everything around you feels unstable. Every struggle becomes a spiritual gym where your endurance, focus, and resilience are trained. You may not see it yet, but the very thing testing you today is equipping you for tomorrow. Challenges are not roadblocks. They're divine setups for growth. When God is about to bless you, one of the clearest signs is that certain people begin to leave your life unexpectedly. It's painful, confusing, and sometimes feels unfair. but it's a divine separation. God removes people who can't go where you're going. Some relationships were only meant for a season, not a lifetime. When you pray for elevation, you also pray for separation, whether you realize it or not. The blessing that's coming requires purity of heart and clarity of direction. God cannot pour something new into a space that's still crowded with distractions, negativity, or people who don't align with your destiny. So when He starts to prune your circle, it's not rejection, it's redirection. We often mistake loss for punishment, but in God's design, it's preparation. There are people you love deeply who suddenly changed, opportunities that disappeared, and doors that closed for no reason. But if you look closely, you'll see that every removal was protection. Some people carry energies, words, or intentions that could delay or damage your blessing. God sees the conversations you don't hear and the motives you can't see. When He removes someone, it's because He heard things you didn't. It's not personal, it's spiritual. You might cry over who left, but one day you'll thank God for who didn't stay. This process of separation can feel lonely because it strips away your comfort. The people you leaned on may no longer be available, and the places you found peace may feel empty. But that emptiness has a purpose. God isolates you not to punish you, but to develop you. He brings you into solitude so He can speak to you directly. In noise, you can't hear His whisper, so He allows silence. The people who used to validate you are gone, so that your validation can come from Him alone. This is where your spiritual vision sharpens, and you start to see the difference between who's with you for benefit and who's with you for purpose. When God begins to separate, He's making room for alignment. Some relationships, even if they seem good, can become weights. You can't climb higher while holding on to what's meant to stay behind. The pruning season hurts because it feels like loss, but in reality, it's God upgrading your environment. The friends who no longer call, the opportunities that slipped away, the jobs that ended. Each one is clearing space for divine connections that will match your next level. God doesn't want you surrounded by those who only understand your past. He's sending those who recognize your future. There's always a spiritual purpose behind separation. It's the cutting away of what no longer serves your calling. Just like a gardener trims branches so the tree can bear more fruit, God prunes your life to make it more fruitful. Some relationships start to feel uncomfortable or strained because they've reached their divine expiration date. When peace starts to fade, it's often a signal that God is shifting things. He'll never take something away without intending to replace it with something greater. You just can't see it yet because you're still standing in the middle of transition. This season also reveals the real from the fake. When everything's easy, everyone seems loyal. But when life starts to shift and challenges arise, masks fall off. The ones who truly care will stand beside you, others will drift away. Don't chase what God has dismissed. Let people go without bitterness or resentment. The same God who separated them knows how to send the right ones when the time is right. Every ending has purpose. Every goodbye carries direction. Sometimes God has to empty your hands before He can fill them again. It's in these quiet moments of divine disconnection that you begin to understand that peace is more valuable than company. Not everyone deserves access to your journey, and not everyone is equipped to walk with you into the next chapter. God is teaching you how to value alignment over attachment, purpose over popularity, peace over presence. The pain of losing certain people becomes the price of your elevation. God is protecting your spirit, your purpose, and your future from anything that could corrupt it. So when people start leaving, don't panic. Heaven is simply clearing the path for what's about to arrive. When God is preparing to bless you, one of the strongest signs is that certain people begin to fade away from your life. It might not make sense at first because some of them may have been close to your heart. But divine separation is not cruelty, it's strategy. God removes people who are not meant to walk with you into your next season. Some were holding your hand, but not your vision. Others were close to you, but not connected to your purpose. When you ask for growth, you're also asking to outgrow certain people. It's not that they're bad. It's that their assignment in your life has ended. God is not trying to hurt you. He's trying to protect what He's about to give you. There are times when people walk away for reasons you'll never understand. Friendships fade, support disappears, and even those you thought would stay forever begin to distance themselves. This is where your faith gets tested. Because while you're asking, why? God is saying, wait. He sees what you cannot. Some people are removed because they would have drained your energy in the next season. Others would have planted doubt in your spirit just as your faith was taking root. When doors close and people leave, you're not being punished. You're being preserved. God is positioning you in a circle that matches your destiny, not your history. Loneliness in this stage can feel heavy. The silence after separation can echo. But what you don't realize is that this quiet space is sacred. God uses solitude to sharpen your sensitivity to His voice. When the noise of people fades, His whisper becomes clear. He removes the crowd so He can train your focus. You learn that divine partnership matters more than social connection. You start to recognize that not everyone who claps for you truly supports you. The fewer voices around you, the stronger your discernment becomes. God separates to strengthen. The isolation is not absence, it's alignment. When God prunes relationships, He's not being unfair, He's being precise. Every branch that doesn't bear fruit must be trimmed for the tree to grow stronger. The same is true for your life. Some relationships, habits, or attachments were beautiful once, but are no longer useful for your purpose. God sees when something starts to limit your growth, so He removes it before it destroys your potential. You may think you need them, but He knows you don't. Every painful goodbye is secretly a divine upgrade. Every exit is making space for someone or something that's truly meant to walk beside you in your next chapter. During this transition, it's important to let go gracefully. Don't chase people who have chosen to leave. Don't beg for what God has already released. Holding on to expired connections only delays your blessing. You can't carry old weight into a new season. The detachment may sting, but peace will follow. What's ahead of you requires more focus, more faith, and more trust. And God can't bring the right ones into your life until you've released the wrong ones. He's not taking something from you. He's making room for what's coming. The pain of losing people will one day turn into gratitude for the protection you didn't recognize. Separation is not a sign that you failed. It's a sign that you're being prepared. When you start to lose connections, it's not because you're unworthy. It's because you're being promoted. New levels demand new surroundings. God knows that if you keep everyone with you, some will block the flow of blessing that's meant for you. He loves you too much to let that happen. So He lets the shaking happen. He lets relationships drift so that your foundation becomes unshakable. The pruning process is never easy, but it's always purposeful. Every person who leaves is a lesson. Every silence is space for clarity. Every closed door is a setup for divine replacement. Sometimes God allows challenges to show you the strength He already placed inside you. You might think you're weak because of how heavy life feels, but the fact that you're still standing is proof of your strength. Hidden power only appears under pressure. Diamonds are formed in the dark under immense heat, and so is your character. God uses trials not to destroy you, but to reveal what's been hidden beneath the surface. Every time you choose faith over fear, trust over doubt, and perseverance over quitting, your inner strength expands. You start to realize that God didn't remove the storm because He was building a storm breaker within you. Challenges reveal what can no longer stay in your life. When things get difficult, certain people fall away, certain habits no longer fit, and certain mindsets begin to break. It hurts, but it's part of the purification. God is separating you from anything that could weaken your blessing later. The harder it gets, the more He's refining you. He's teaching you how to depend on Him completely. The pain you're feeling is not punishment, it's preparation. The confusion you face is not chaos, it's calibration. God is aligning every part of you with His will, even when it feels like everything is falling apart. In moments of challenge, faith is tested and proven. It's easy to believe when life flows smoothly, but real faith is forged in uncertainty. When you can still trust God with tears in your eyes, when you can still praise Him without answers, when you can still move forward despite fear, that's when your strength becomes unshakable. These seasons are never wasted. They strip away pride, fear, and false confidence until all that's left is faith. The weight you carry now is building the muscle you'll need for the blessing ahead. God doesn't waste pain. He uses it as preparation for purpose. There's a hidden blessing in every challenge. The storm reveals what needs strengthening. The struggle teaches what can't be learned in comfort. The disappointment turns into redirection. The very challenge that made you question God will later prove His faithfulness. You'll look back and realize that the pressure didn't destroy you, it developed you. It taught you patience, resilience, and dependence on God's timing. Every tear watered the ground for your next harvest. Every setback shaped the strength needed for the elevation that's coming. When unexpected challenges come, don't assume you're off course. Sometimes the storm is the path. God uses resistance to remind you of the power He placed inside you. The pain you feel is stretching your spirit, enlarging your capacity, and preparing you for overflow. What seems like breaking is actually building. The pressure you face is the proof that something greater is on the way. Hidden strength is only revealed when the surface starts to crack, and it's in that moment you realize that God has been preparing you, not punishing you. When God is preparing to bless you, one of the most powerful signs is a deep and steady peace that begins to rise inside you. You may not have everything figured out. The situation may still look uncertain, but something in your heart feels calm. It's not the kind of peace that comes from everything going right. It's the kind that comes when you finally stop fighting what's wrong. It's quiet, unshakable, and rooted in trust. That's how you know God is near. When chaos surrounds you, but your spirit stays still, that's not your strength, that's His presence. Before the blessing arrives, God often replaces your anxiety with a peace that doesn't make sense, because that peace is the foundation of faith. There comes a moment when you stop trying to force outcomes. You stop worrying about who stayed or who left. You stop asking why things didn't happen the way you expected. That's when you shift from control to surrender. And surrender is the space where miracles begin to form. God doesn't move through panic. He moves through peace. When you finally let go and trust Him completely, you open a door for the supernatural to work in your life. The things you were once chasing begin to find you. The answers you were searching for begin to appear naturally. This inner calm is God's way of telling you that He's already at work, that the promise is closer than it looks, and that the storm is ending soon. The peace that comes before breakthrough is often misunderstood. You might think you're getting weaker because you no longer feel the urge to fight or explain yourself. But in truth, you're becoming stronger. You're learning to choose stillness over reaction, silence over argument, prayer over panic. The world may not understand it, but heaven does. Peace is not the absence of problems. It's the awareness of divine control. It's that moment when you stop asking for things to be easy and start asking for God's will to be done. That's where transformation begins. That's when your heart aligns with heaven. You start to notice that the things which used to upset you no longer hold power over you. The same voices that once triggered doubt now fade into background noise. You stop chasing validation because you realize your worth doesn't come from people. It comes from purpose. This shift in energy is a sacred sign that you are entering your next level. God is preparing you to receive something stable, something pure, something that requires maturity of spirit. He cannot give you lasting blessings while your heart is still restless. So He gives you peace first, not the blessing itself. Because peace is proof that you're ready to handle what's coming. This peace doesn't shout. It doesn't rush. It whispers. It shows up in small moments. When you wake up with gratitude instead of fear, when you stop replaying the past in your mind, when you can finally say, God, I trust you, and mean it. That's when heaven begins to align your steps. Things that were once delayed start to move. Connections that once seemed distant start to reappear. Opportunities begin to flow in ways you couldn't have planned. And through it all, your spirit stays steady, because the peace that comes from God isn't fragile, it's eternal. When you feel this peace, it's a sign that God is closer than ever. It means your prayers have been heard and your waiting has not been wasted. It means your character has been shaped and your heart has been refined. You've passed the test of patience and the test of trust. You're no longer trying to control the outcome. You're walking in alignment with it. This kind of peace is what separates faith from fear. It's what allows you to walk through storms without sinking. It's what prepares you for blessings that won't break you. When your soul is calm while everything else shakes, that's heaven's way of saying the blessing is near. When God is about to bless you, delays often appear in your path, and it feels as if everything has slowed down. Prayers seem unanswered, plans fall apart, and doors that look promising suddenly close. It's frustrating because your faith tells you something good is coming, but your reality shows silence. Yet this silence is not denial, it's divine timing. God's delays are not signs that He's forgotten you. They're proof that He's perfecting what's to come. Every delay carries purpose. It's a sacred pause where God aligns situations, people, and opportunities in ways that you can't see yet. He's not making you wait to punish you. He's making you wait to prepare you. When you rush into blessings before you're ready, they can turn into burdens. God loves you too much to let that happen. So instead, He slows things down, not to make you lose hope, but to strengthen your spirit. Delays stretch your patience, sharpen your focus, and build your endurance. They test your trust and refine your motives. You may think you're waiting on God, but often God is waiting on you to mature, to release control, to learn peace in the process. Every moment of delay is training ground for your destiny. You can't step into something permanent with a temporary mindset. The waiting season is where that shift takes place. Sometimes delay is protection in disguise. You wanted it now, but God knew the timing would have harmed you. You prayed for that opportunity, but He saw the hidden traps. You thought that relationship was the answer, but He saw how it would drain your purpose. What feels like a setback is often a shield. God's plan is always wider than your vision. He's not just thinking about your today. He's preparing your tomorrow. The very thing you think you're missing might be the thing He's using to redirect you towards something greater. The longer it takes, the bigger the purpose behind it. During the delay, God begins to teach you the rhythm of divine patience. You learn that not everything good comes quickly. You learn to stop comparing your journey with others. While others may seem to move ahead, your silence is your strengthening. You're not being left behind. You're being built up. God's timing is never late. It's layered with meaning. What you call nothing happening is actually everything being aligned. Heaven works quietly. The soil moves before the seed breaks the surface. The blessing matures underground long before you ever see it. This kind of waiting teaches surrender. You stop trying to make things happen by force and start allowing God to unfold them by grace. You begin to trust His not yet as much as His yes. You learn to rest instead of rush, to believe without proof, and to stay still without losing hope. The waiting doesn't weaken your faith. It reveals its depth. When you can stand in uncertainty with peace in your heart, you prove to heaven that you're ready. God doesn't give permanent blessings to impatient hearts. He blesses those who trust His process. You may feel forgotten in this waiting, but you're actually being favored. The delay means your story is being written with care. Every part of your journey, the confusion, the pause, the waiting, is shaping your character for something only you can carry. The time you think you're losing is time God is using to prepare the blessing so that when it comes, it won't slip away. The waiting is proof of His precision. God never misses His moment. And if you stay faithful through the delay, you'll see that it wasn't a pause. It was positioning. The moment everything finally aligns, you'll understand that every second of waiting was a setup for something extraordinary.